Alright, hello YouTube, I am Shaggy, I am Philolitea. I know that light is right in your eyes. I also know that I am going to be reading from my work. This is not Rob Longshore work. I'm going to be continuing the Gilgamesh sequence together. I have to open my shit back to it, but it should be only moments away. I do only have 30 minutes. I have to get out of the tent. I gotta make this movie. I want to watch this movie. I am going to watch this movie, and I have put it off multiple days this very week. I've put it off multiple times, multiple days this very week to hang out with you guys and spend time with you guys. Um, Hopefully to make a little bit of money off of you guys, so I could go and see it without having to dip into any of my credit. But here we are. I'm gonna go watch this movie. I got 2 free tickets, so I'm gonna go watch a movie. Spend one of them. Only seems reasonable. Until then. Oh, Rach, do you remember where we were? We should be on chapter 8, right? I think it's 8. Yeah, it's 8. In chapter 7, he and Enkidu were sitting in the garden, speaking of their plans for the future. So we're going to be reading from my Patreon. You could follow along if you wanted. I didn't put the link anywhere where you can find it this time. But if you wanted to follow along, you could. You're not going to, so I'm not worried about it. And I should have got out my microphone, so that it wasn't. Yeah, I'm not working quite so hard to do this. But I didn't do that either. So here we are. Chapter 8. Hand in hand, we, the 2 friends, walk the steps of Ur-Ziggurat to Lady Ki's temple. I bow to her mother, goddess Puabi, on her her sacred couch, and say, I must travel now to the cedar forest. I must journey to meet the fierce monster Huwawa. I must walk a road that no man has traveled. I must face a combat that no man has known. Dear mother, great goddess, help me in this. Give me your blessing before I leave, so that I may come back from the cedar forest victorious and see you again. Mother Puabi takes my and Enkidu's clasped hands together in her own. She kisses me on the brow and to him says, Dear child, you were not born from my womb, but now I adopt you as my son. She kisses him on the brow and releases us. Then, to the altar of her temple and her goddess goddess Puabi says, As a goddess, or as a priestess takes in an abandoned child, I have taken in Enkidu as my own son. May he be a brother for Gilgamesh. May he guide him to the forest and bring him home. Peto and Utu stand from where they have been kneeling. Utu speaks. Come back safely, Great Walled. Come back. How did I do his voice? Come back safely to Great Walled Uruk. Do not rely on your strength alone, but be watchful, be wary, make each blow count. Let Enkidu go ahead as you walk, my king Gilgamesh. He knows the way to the cedar forest. He is tested in battle. He is brave and strong. He will guard you at every stage of your journey, through every danger, he will stand at your side. May my lord Utu grant you your heart's desire. May the path to the cedar forest be straight. May the nights be safe, with no dangers lurking. May your father Lugalbanda protect you. May you conquer Huawa. May the battle be quick. May you joyfully wash your feet in the river. His blessing given, he is immediately gone. He did not want me doing this. I nod, quite pleased with myself and the goings-on. Enkidu turns and leaves the temple. As I move to follow, Peto catches my hand. I turn back to her. Her emerald fires are bright and shine with tears. Just return to me, my king, she says through trembling lips. We are sitting atop the two greatest warkunga ever husbanded by man. Mine, Nagisifax, and Enkidu's Igikuku. I brandish the gleaming, oversized copper war axe from my back and the oversized bronze knife from the belt at my hip. Enkidu has identical weapons on his back and hip. With weapons such as these, friend, we cannot fail to so utterly terrify the monster that he will not dare even to show his face. Your people will cheer us as saviors. We're sitting at a banquet. Short, densely boned men and squat, squarish women, all of them dressed in goat hides and exultant to kiss Enkidu, their prodigal son, on the brow, surround us. I turn to him. How can you doubt? Your people will celebrate us with a flotilla for us themselves. I toast him some heady drink I can't get enough of. Our victory is certain. I'm falling on my knees, throwing my head out of the tent. Wind and rain lash the night like nothing I have ever seen. A pillar of purple lightning lights a cloud in violet fire, and then I am vomiting a viscous black ooze that chokes my throat on the drowning soil. Lord! Enkidu shouts from inside the tent. Gilgamesh! Return to the tent! The night and the storm will devour you! I turn, and the light of our little tent fire is all the night away. Enkidu darkens the tent flap with his form, hunched against the wind and driving blades of rain. His hand seizes mine, and I am filled with a boundless light. Easily I return to the tent and his side. Enkidu! I cry from my muddy knees. Enkidu, I'm frightened. I have seen that we are doomed to failure, to perish at the hands of the monster Huawa. We were walking in a gorge, and when I looked up, a huge mountain loomed, so huge that we were as small as flies. Then the mountain fell down on top of us. Then I was alone. I looked up, and another huge mountain loomed. It threw me down. It pinned me by my feet. A terrifying brightness hurt my eyes. Suddenly a young man appeared. He was shining and handsome. He took me by the arm. He pulled me out from under the mountain. He gave me water. My heart grew calm. Do not worry, Enkidu says, pulling me back into the tent and toweling off my damp brow. My friend, the dream you had is a favorable one. The mountain stands for Huawa, who will fall just like that mountain. He will throw you down, but he cannot kill you. As for the handsome young man who appeared, he stands for your friend Utu, who will liberate you and grant you everything you desire. But Enkidu, the heavens roared and the earth heaved. Then there was darkness, silence. Lightning flashed, igniting the trees. By the time the flames died out, the ground was covered with ash. Dear friend, tell me, what does it mean? Enkidu, my beloved friend, pulls me into his embrace, cradling my head to his chest. The dream you had is a favorable one. Go back to sleep, my friend. You will need all your energy, for on the morrow we enter the cedar forest and encounter mighty Huawa. The fiery heavens are him, Huawa, who tried to kill you with lightning and flames. But in spite of the fire, he could not harm you. We will kill him. Success is ours. I'm standing with my arms raised above my head, a great copper war axe gripped tight in my hands, and cuts leaking blood all around my body. I am naked except for my lion-skin shirt. At my feet is the kneeling Huwawa. Gilgamesh, he says to the ground, his neck exposed to me, defeat in his voice. Have mercy. Let me live here in the cedar forest. If you will spare my life, I will be your slave. I will give you as many cedars as you wish. You are king of Uruk by the grace of Utu. Honor him with a cedar temple and a glorious cedar palace for yourself. All this is yours if only you spare me. Dear friend, do not listen to anything that the monster says. Kill him before you become confused. Huwawa turns his mighty head to my friend. My arms quiver. My legs tremble. If any mortal Enkidu knows the rules of my forest, it is you. You know that this is my place and that I am the forest guardian. Enlil put me here to terrify men, and I guard the forest as Enlil ordains. If you kill me, you will call down the god's wrath, and thy judgment will be severe. I could have killed you at the forest edge. I could have hung you from a cedar and fed your guts to the shrieking vultures and crows. Now it is your turn to show me mercy. Speak to him. Beg him to spare my life. Dear friend, move quickly, before another moment goes by. Enkidu cries. Kill Huwawa! Don't listen to his words. Don't hesitate. Slaughter him! Slit his throat before the great god Enlil can stop us, before the great gods can be enraged. Establish your fame so that forever men will speak of brave Gilgamesh who killed Huwawa in the Silver Forest. Huwawa leaps at me, knocking the great copper war axe from my grip. We tumble to the ground. I curse you both, the demon cries, grasping for my throat as we roll on the ground. Because you have done this, may Enkidu die. May he die in great pain, my half-brother. Let his father find him. I could have devoured him when he was a baby. May he die in great pain. May Gilgamesh be inconsolable. May his merciless heart be crushed with grief. And then there is a grunting sound, and a sighing, as I punch my dagger into his heart. Chapter 9. I am standing atop the new Ziggurat Dhyana, the greatest structure in all the world before the new temple to Inanna. It is my city's holiest day of the year, the wedding day of the great king and his goddess. I behold my amassed people, the mighty wall, the first of its kind, which encircles them like a father's love. My people! Your goddess Inanna has made a demand of me, your great king. Marry me, she tells me. Give me your luscious fruits. Be my husband. Be my sweet man. I will give you abundance beyond your dreams, marble and alabaster, ivory and jade, gorgeous servants with blue-green eyes, a chariot of lapis lazuli, with golden wheels and guide horns of amber, pulled by storm demons like giant mules. When you enter my temple in its cedar fragrance, high priests will bow down and kiss your feet. Kings and princes will kneel before you, bringing you tribute from east and west. And I will bless everything that you own. Your goats will bear triplets, your ewes will twin. Your donkeys will be faster than any mule. Your chariot horses will win every race. Your oxen will be the envy of the world. These are the least of the gifts I will shower upon you. Come here, be my sweet man. Her price is too high. I listened to the audible gasp in the assembled crowd. Such riches are far beyond my means. Tell me, goddess, how could I ever repay you? I shout to the clear heavens. Even if I gave you jewels, perfumes, rich robes, how many Huwawas must I slay for you? And what will happen to me when your heart turns elsewhere and your lust burns out? Why would I want to be the lover of a broken oven that fails in the cold, a flimsy door that the wind blows through, a palace that falls on its staunchest defenders, a mouse that gnaws through its thin reed shelter, tar that blackens the workman's hands, a water skin that is full of holes and leaks all over its bearer, a piece of limestone that crumbles and undermines a solid stone wall, a battering ram that knocks down the rampart of an allied city, a shoe that mangles its owner's foot. To my people, I extend my arms as though for an embrace. From this day forward, her marriage bed is no more. No more shall I or any king take our pleasure where we like it. Never again will a girl have to go to the bed of two men. Never again must husbands see their loves taken from them. Soundlessly, with a blinding flash of light, a lapis lazuli thunderhead cracks the cloudless sky and does not fade. A figure, a girl, appears in the crack. She descends until she was right in front of me. As she approaches, she slaps my face. Glowing and resplendent and evidently 13, her eyes are overbig and lapis lazuli all through. Why must you persist to deny me? She demands with her back to my whole city. Floating in the air, her eyes level with mine, her feet dangling at my waist. You have heard all that my love offers. Which of your husbands did you love forever? I demand, crossing my arms over my great chest. Which could satisfy your endless desires? Let me remind you of how they suffered, how each one came to a bitter end. Remember what happened to that beautiful boy, Tammuz. You loved him when you were both young. Then you changed. You sent him to the underworld and doomed him to be wailed for year after year. You loved the bright speckled roller bird. Then you changed. You attacked him and broke his wings, and he sits in the woods crying, "Ah-wee!" You loved the lion, matchless in strength. Then you changed. You dug 7 pits for him, and when he fell, you left him to die. You loved the hot-blooded, war-bold stallion. Then you changed. You doomed him to whip and spurs, to endlessly gallop with a bit in his mouth, to muddy his own water when he drinks from a pool. And for his mother, the goddess Lamia, you ordered a weeping that will never end. You loved the shepherd, the master of the flocks, who every day would bake bread for you and would bring you a fresh slaughtered roasted lamb. Then you changed. You touched him. He became a wolf, and now his own shepherd boys drive him away and his own dogs snap at his hairy thighs. You loved the gardener Ishulanu, who would bring you baskets of fresh picked dates every day to brighten your table. You lusted for him. You drew close and said, "Sweet Ishulanu, let me suck your rod, touch my vagina, caress my jewel." And he frowned and answered, "Why should I eat this rotten meal of yours? What can you offer but the bread of dishonor, the beer of shame, the thin reeds as covers when the cold wind blows?" But you kept up your sweet talk, and at last he gave in. Then you changed. You turned him into a toad, and doomed him to live in his devastated garden. And why would my fate be any different? If I too became your lover, you would treat me as cruelly as you treated them. Inanna shrieks, a piercing, deafening howl of inhuman rage. "Will no one avenge me on this horrid man?" she cries. "Enough of this foolishness, Gilgamesh." I hear a voice, my friend Utu's, call at my back, from the steps of the new temple of Inanna at Iyana. "You are king no more! I have wed your priests, and I will marry our goddess next!" I turn, unbelieving what I am hearing. He, Utu, my best friend, stands, body-painted gold and shining sickly in the lapis lazuli crack in the sky, with his feet wide apart. He is totally nude except for the mask of the bull of heaven on his head, and the dagger which killed Huwawa in his upraised fist. His soldiers, his warriors, are armed and climbing the ziggurat, surrounding me. Lady Shamhat, Inanna's high priestess and my scorned betrothed, lies naked at his feet. Blood mars her inner thigh. Utu laughs. The sound bellows weirdly, madly from the bull of heaven's leering snarl. "You damned fool! That wild man Enkidu was supposed to destroy you! Huwawa was supposed to destroy you! And here you are! End this madness! Fight me, and we will see whether you are allowed to make changes to the world the gods made simply because you feel like it." He steps toward me. Goddamn, I hope any of you have read the most recent chapters that I read of The Coming Age. Because this is the exact opposite. The exact opposite. He steps toward me. There is a blur of motion. Enkidu. His bronze war axe flashes through the air between Utu's head and his shoulders. Then it bites into the brick of Ea's ziggurat. There is only silence, an impossible hush. Then Utu's head slides from his neck in a fountain of blood. His body hits its knees. Inanna is screaming. That's all I'm aware of anymore. There is motion, movement. My people are a kicked anthill. But I am on my knees watching as the floating goddess kicks her legs and thrashes her arms at flames which I cannot see, but which consume her semi-corporeal form in tremendous agony. Like an image projected by light off a translucent surface, I can only stare, horrified, as she dissolves into ash and nothing. May everyone you love betray you, she hisses, hate filling her all lapis lazuli eyes. In this life and ever after! Damn you! I turn to the bellow of Enkidu's mighty rage. His oversized bronze axe is pointed at the lapis lazuli crack in the sky, even as it shrinks away to nothing, like it was never there. The axe gleams. His powerful body is motionless, as a statue of his grace and his glory. Damn this cursed temple! He roars, slamming the axe head into the brick of the temple all the way to the haft. Curse this city! Curse your civilization! Curse these people! As for that trapper who found me when I was free in the wilderness, because he destroyed my life, destroy his livelihood. May he go home empty. May no animals ever enter his traps. Or if they do, may they vanish like mist, and may he starve for bringing me here. Shamat! He wheels on the high priestess, who has brought herself to the party. I assign you an eternal fate. I curse you with the ultimate curse. May it seize you instantly as it leaves my mouth. Never may you have a home and a family. Never caress a child of your own. May your man prefer younger, prettier girls. May he beat you as a housewife beats a rug. May you never acquire bright alabaster or shining silver. May wild dogs camp in your bedroom. May owls nest in your attic. May drunkards vomit all over you. May a tavern wall be your place of business. May you be dressed in torn robes and filthy underwear. May angry wives sue you, and thorn and briars make your feet bloody. May young men jeer and the rabble mock you as you walk the streets. Shamhat, may all this be your reward for seducing me in the wilderness when I was young and strong and innocent and free. He wrenches his axe free and helps me to stand. Please tell me you're not leaving, I whisper to him. His eyes meet mine. Chapter 10. I am standing atop Uruk's mighty walls, looking out at the descending dark of night when I hear my beloved Enkidu's footsteps approaching me. I turn to him. No, I got 10 minutes. I turn to him. It's only been a week, but seeing him dressed in the regalia of my best friend Utu, not my deceased betrayer Utu, still does not feel right to me. The priests, he says, stopping a respectful distance away, whisper that the famine is because of Lady Inanna's curse, my king, Lord Gilgamesh. I look at him, searching his two big gray eyes. There is a sorrow there. Does he think this is his fault? Should I have let Utu have the city? Should Enkidu and I have run away to the faraway mountains together and left all this behind? Is that so? I ask, shaking my head and looking back to the coming night. And Lil's wind at my back sticks to my skin and itches my hair. The gods fail us, although we are their faithful servants, and the priests blame me. Lord Gilgamesh puts a hand on my chest. It has been nearly a year since anyone in your city has performed any public rite to the Lady Inanna. This feud between you two. You speak to me of the pillow talk between you and my high priestess, then, I demand. My heart is angry, a bitter stone at the pit of my stomach. And now I am going to stop, because this is what you've heard before. You've heard that. He leaves that scene, and then the part that I showed you just to show you some of it happens. He goes to Inanna, or he goes to Shamhat, and she tells him that Inanna has a quest for him at the Hulupu tree. And then he goes to the Hulupu tree, and Enkidu dies as a result of the events at the Hulupu tree. And then he returns home, and he does the funeral to his friend. And then, if you remember how this all set up, don't go anywhere yet, Rach. Just don't go anywhere yet. If you remember how the novella sets up, the first chapter of the novella, of the dream of the novella, the first chapter is him speaking to his god cousin, the god of death. And so now that you've seen Charon and the way he was portrayed a few times, I deliberately avoided that Charon. I had seen that Charon at time of composition. I deliberately avoided the inarticulate. I thought the inarticulate Charon was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. But if you remember the setup, Charon, Urshanabi, I think is the name of the boatman of the dead in Sumer. If you remember, what he asks Gilgamesh for is a story. The boatman of the dead, I think his name is Urshanabi. I'm probably wrong. I don't speak Sumerian. But the boatman of the dead asks Gilgamesh for a story. He says, you know, you're the only god king to ever die, right? You're the only god king to ever die. You're the only god king I've ever taken to the underworld, and you're the only one of my siblings for sure who's ever died. Will you tell me a story? Tell me a story about your life. Tell me what it was like to be alive. Tell me what it was like to be a human for a while. To be alive, to have a human life. And Gilgamesh tells him that the story of Gilgamesh's life is inscribed on these tablets, and I will tell it to you. But that the story I'm going to tell you isn't about me. The story I'm going to tell you is about my best friend and the greatest love of my life. Okay? That's how the book starts. That's how it's a novella. That's how it begins. So Rob is dreaming himself inside a story that pre-existed in Rob's life. He says that in the prologue, right? He makes that evident to the savvy reader that he knows this story because he was made to memorize it. At least he heard it enough times that he should have memorized it. He should be able to recall it by memory. He knows how. He knew he was educated and trained to do that, so he should be able to. And so he goes into his mind to remember it. And here we are. So, I don't know how much I changed. I don't know how much I changed between these drafts. So I will complete it because there's a lot more. There's a lot more, as Rach can tell you because she's reading along. We're not even at the 50% mark of this story. This novella, it's not a novel. It's not enough words for a novel. But it is 60,000 words, and that is definitely a novella. Actually, you can call 60,000 words a novel if you want, but I would be insulted. It's like I was talking to my girlfriend tonight about how video games in the 90s and early aughts, we used to be very serious about playtime. We weren't buying games, especially PC gamers. We weren't buying games that didn't guarantee minimum 60 hours of narrative gameplay. 60 hours of story, or I'm not buying this. Guaranteed 60 hours of straight line gameplay, or I'm not playing this. And I'm that way with books. I'm that way with stories. Don't waste my fucking time. Give me something I can sink my teeth into. And no fucking episodic novels where every episode has to be a 3-act Hollywood movie. Fuck all that shit. Fuck you, fans of that fucking magic detective Harold Dresden. Fuck all you. Fuck Harry Dresden fans. You are why literature sucks. You're one of the whys for sure. Well, it's most certainly a manuscript, because a manuscript is any piece of writing. I don't know exactly what your definitions there mean, Rachie. I don't know exactly what you mean, but I'm not going to have this conversation with you live. I'm actually ending this right now.